Hello and welcome back for more. Oh, well, this is awkward. One sec. There we are. Hello and welcome back for more PokeMMO. Believe it's more training for the Lava Ridge gym trainers for now. I looked into other potential training spots, and funnily enough, none of them really look great compared to this one. Welcome, Ciderman. Yeah, it's... Again, I haven't been streaming that much recently, but my, family was getting ready to move away, and they are moving away today, which means I have much more time now. Also, welcome, butterflies. I mean, aside from the fact that you're trying to scam people in YouTube chat, I wouldn't want beer anyway. But, some other good news. I do have emotes up on Twitch now, finally. So that's cool. What's going on? Just someone in a YouTube chat. Butterflies being butterflies. Yeah, I unfortunately cannot get emotes on YouTube until I have more subscribers there. So, once that happens though, I'll get my emotes there too. Welcome, Coca. Yeah, but being in Twitch chat, you're avoiding butterfly scams. Oh, it's not a bot, it's my moderator trying to scam people. And welcome, Ember. You forgot your Twitch account? Yeah, it looks like you're still free for now. And thank you for the bless. I need to restore my waterfall points. Sorry I was a little late to stream again today. I was doing a match against Gerald because he was just eliminated from the cage lock. And I wanted to battle him because we didn't get to battle each other in the tournament. But luckily that didn't take too long. I know everyone on Twitch to avoid you. Yeah, sadly that seems to be the case. Soon someone will show up and say, "Hey buddy, I love Pokemon, your VTuber model looks interesting. Do you have a Discord? Look at my portfolio, I sell models." Oh yeah. The art scammers. But I do already have a 2D model that's finished, but it hasn't been rigged yet, so I can't actually use it yet. The person I want to do the rigging is not currently offering commissions, not until August, so hopefully that'll get done before too long. Should probably run from these. saw a reel of kids beating up a Mega Charizard X costume. The Charizard hate is a bit much. I have to admit, it's purely because of Game Freak's favoritism and not Charizard's design itself. Have I played this at all between the last time you saw me stream it? I'm not actually sure. It's been a while since I've done a solo stream because my last few streams have been collabs with the Cagelocke and on the Fall Guys stream. You shall expand your network and communication so you can reach Twitch and conduct your domination. Well, good luck with that. You just have to remember your Twitch password. How is the progress on my model? Same as it has been. Art's finished. Rigging has not been commissioned yet. Waiting for the person to finally open their waitlist, which should be in like a month and a half. Doing it so funny that I think they can't be the Charizard costume because of Game Freak's favoritism and not because children are psychos sometimes. And that's also part of it. It can be a combination of things. I mean, adults can be that way as well. But it's probably more common in children since, you know, their brains aren't nearly as developed. Especially under 7. At that point, it's kind of hard to think of other people as being like them just because their brains aren't wired for it yet. Of course, I have trouble with people in general, not just kids, but anyway. Oh, I need to ask, how was this Charizard costume? Don't we all relationships are hard? True. Communication is hard when it seems like you're speaking completely different languages despite speaking the same language. I don't know why, but I woke up with my throat really sore this morning. Well, not this morning, it was almost 1 p.m., which I guess with my schedule compared to someone who works a 9 to 5, that's basically 9 a.m. for me. But anyway, my throat's still a little sore, but not nearly as bad as it was before. Takes a lot of empathy for the other person, which many people don't have. Right, just being able to be considerate In all your years playing Pokemon, you think it's your first time seeing a shelter with waterfall? It's not that weird, is it? I mean, I get the best stab move is probably Icicle Spear, but Waterfall's still good. The costume was mid. Butterflies is on Twitch now. Just wait for the coughing. Hopefully that doesn't happen soon. Earlier this year, I was sick for close to 2 months. I do not want that to happen again. Love poison types. I remember when I was a kid, I commented on how many coughing Pokemon cards I had. And my parents made a joke about maybe that's why I was coughing so much. Even though it was my asthma. Which thankfully isn't nearly as bad as it used to be. Though I think that's mainly because my environment changed. And I wasn't living with a small furry creature I was allergic to. Also, I should probably... Give me a second. I've never actually used this command before. Shout out to the artist who did my emotes. And thank you for the health check. My parents did not buy me an animal I was allergic to. I developed an allergy to him after having him as a pet. Which was very unfortunate. And thank you for the bless. Let me take that health check. Seems like my body just hates me. It does sometimes. Though certainly not all the time. I do have a lot of problems with ankle pain and stuff, but I think that's mainly just because of my job. Because it started after starting my job, and I'm basically on my feet moving around all day. On top is moving around, or on top of walking everywhere, since I don't drive. Oh, thank you for the subscription. Also, why are you subscribing to me? I thought you needed money. Didn't you just need to blow a bunch on a new phone? Oh, well, I do get foot pain, it's just mostly ankle pain. You skimmed? I'm not actually sure what you're trying to say. Wait, was the subscription an accident or something? Schemed? How is that a scheme? Maybe they shoplifted a phone? I'd be surprised. Wait, why are you bringing Bidoof into it? For luck? Wait, is strangling a Bidoof a good luck charm now? Or is that just something you want an excuse to do? Love that emote. Yeah, that checks out. Youth to Lord and Savior with a simple desire to please all kind. I believe that would have been the case if it weren't for, Rusty. Sometimes a guide... Okay, that sounds like some kind of innuendo. Rusty flashbacks, it's hard not to think about it, honestly. It's just one of those things that sticks in your mind once you've seen it. I am trying to get my team up to level 28 right now, so I can battle Flannery's gym trainers. I will admit, I don't exactly remember the route through her gym. Not really important, I'll just figure it out. But I also want to evolve Ire into Cloister at 28. I guess the reason you don't normally see Shelter with Waterfall is you don't normally get Waterfall until the time it would normally be at Cloister, wouldn't you? But since I'm doing kind of a weird Nuzlocke between regions with effectively a level cap reset, I taught it Waterfall before going to a new region, instead of leveling it up in Kanto or Johto. Is there no level 15 area for me to grind in? There are higher level areas. The issue is they all have some kind of super effective move on my team, and I don't really want to risk it. And also, just getting HP EVs is generally good. And the way I've been playing this Nuzlocke is slow and safe, because this is a very long Nuzlocke and I don't want to throw the run by being impatient. The Whismers are paying for their sins. You could say that. You do have to wonder, when you cause a wild Pokemon to faint, how does it revive? Pokemon Centers aren't the only way to revive. Same with the items, because you can heal fainted Pokemon at houses and stuff by just sleeping, so presumably after enough rest, they'll recover. That's your biggest weakness, gotta go fast. Yeah, patience is very important in Nuzlocking. Is Chandelure in PokeMMO? It is, yes. But I believe the only region you can find it in is Unova, which is going to be the last region I go to in the Nuzlocke. So, still need to do the second half of Hoenn and Johto or not Johto, Sinnoh before getting there. I'm still only about halfway through this Nuzlocke, despite starting close to a year and a half ago at this point. Faint in critical conditions and probably rest for a good while to get back that HP. Yeah, once you release a Pokemon, in terms of what actually happens in your game, is it ceases to exist. But I think the canon thing that happens is it just goes off into the wild. Which, if that happened, theoretically you could just encounter it again, but obviously that's not the case because wild Pokemon are generated when you encounter them. When N releases a Pokemon, it sticks around. But yeah, can't you catch his Pokemon in the game or something? Or is that not the case? I never finished Black 2 White 2, so I don't know for sure. I also didn't do the Black and White post-game at all. I should probably get on those things at some point. You didn't even play Black 2 White 2? Yeah, I got about halfway through it, but that's when I started getting into Nuzlocking. So my casual playthrough just started to feel boring to me. I'm doing a Regionlocke for over a year. Yeah, as I said, I'm playing very slowly. Lots of grinding levels and taking the time to do other things like the gift lock race and be a cage lock and whatnot. Because this isn't the only thing I do on stream. I am just about out of PowerPoints. I only played Emerald to finish and PokeMMO for a bit of time. I mean, honestly, PokeMMO is a very good way to experience Pokemon, in my opinion. I just really like the power level compared to vanilla games because it's not overboard difficulty hack levels. You just get reasonably strong opponents and good tools that you wouldn't normally have access to in older games, since it does have updated movesets and whatnot. Now that I think about it, how many hours into this am I? Over 200, right? Yeah, about 230 hours of playtime. Oh yeah, don't you actually get a gift, Zorua? In Black 2 White 2? That was supposedly ends at some point? That wasn't catching a wild one that he had released. I will say I've released so many reject Mawile in Alpha Sapphire, but they have basically become, or that they realistically should have become, native to the game, but obviously the game doesn't work like that. You only know what Chugga Conroy uploaded? I don't know who that is. I need to take your leave. Thank you for stopping by and thanks again for the subscription. I hope you have a nice day. Yeah, it should be early in the day for you. And now you're offering me curry. Just 20 grand for one bite? That's quite the bargain. I'll pay 100k for half a bite. That's... Ha. A bite and you don't shoot? Now you're threatening my mods? Quite reasonable prices. And you could just not get scammed by not buying it. Yeah, Ire's about to hit level 28, which means time for the evolution. After learning Protect, of course. All or nothing, that's how you Ryan. This is the same guy that wanted to sell you Slowpoke Tail for 1 million. I don't think butterflies would stoop that low. Okay, where... Here we are. Hi, yours evolving. Dudes told you air one time? Like, compressed air? Or an oxygen tank? Or just air? I don't think I'm gonna take spikes. I think this is a good moveset. I am not going to evolve a Malthea until level 30. So until right before Flannery. She will not be evolved for the gym trainers. Just air business has been a business. I mean, if you're desperate, I guess. There are situations where you're more concerned about getting oxygen than keeping your money. I am remembering correctly, this is Vitalin, so Eric Cutter is never going to miss. Good to know. Honestly, I am most likely over-preparing for this gym. That is often the case. But the difficulty in this is unpredictable. Some fights I'm expecting to be a lot more difficult than they end up being, whereas other fights end up being significantly more difficult. Like the, Tabitha fight that I don't really want to talk about. You win the wide lens makes a move 99% and you miss. Yeah, didn't I miss like 3 wide lens charge beams in one stream? That was really something. I feel your pain. I really tried not to rely on inaccurate moves, but sometimes you don't really have much of a choice. Same with risking crits. Which, at least in PokeMMO, are only 1.5 times damage. Unlike normally in Gen 5, where it's still 2 times. The real question is, what would we do without wide lens? Would we just miss, or just never use 95% accurate moves? Being only 1.5 times is kind of crazy. Sometimes those 2 times are really needed as a buff to Stallmons. And it was definitely a buff to stall Pokemon. Having critical hits exist is definitely important, otherwise being able to set up defense and special defense would just be way too overpowered. But I do think throwing them in just to make random chance less punishing is probably a good idea. Oh, that's your main Pokemon on your team? Are you talking about Hamida? Also, didn't you say you had to go? Not that I'm complaining, I just don't want you to neglect other things. Shamer complains that the viewer is still here. I'm not complaining. I'm asking out of concern. Back in Kanto, I think it was when I was training for Sabrina or something. Butterflies was skipping class to watch my stream or something like that. That was like a year ago, I think. You're still wearing your shoes? Yeah, being exposed. I, didn't mean to expose you like that. I am already out of water. It has been really hot here, at least by my standards. I had my window open and my fan running for days straight, but I had to turn it off so that it wouldn't mess with my stream audio. So it's starting to warm up in here again. That in combination with my throat is of course making me go through my water more quickly. But it shouldn't be too long before the next ad break, so I can refill my water then. Up in the window. Yeah, I'd rather not. I mean, my audio already doesn't sound the best, I don't think. I've tried to fix it. And getting another, or a better microphone or something could potentially help, but I'd rather avoid doing things that could potentially interfere. You think it sounds fine? That's good at least. You're offering me the magic water of your lands for only $600 a sip? With $300,000 shipping? To be fair, shipping costs are pretty high. Get things here at least. Inflation hit the USA hard, huh? I mean, there's the whole tariffs thing for importing anything. But also, it's just always been the case for Alaska that shipping things here is generally more expensive. Majestic water. The water was somehow dry. Is that a reference to something? Because I am not getting it. I live in Alaska. Yes, I do. That probably should have been apparent due to my time zone at least, because it's literally the only place that has this time zone. You don't think you've ever heard of anyone who lived here in your life? That's kind of impressive. Even famous people? Not even people known for being from Alaska? Like, politicians? If you don't really hear about US politics, that would make sense. I don't really look into it myself, but I just naturally hear about that stuff as someone in the US. It's random nonsense you spout out every now and then. He kind of stuck with that weird trade after seeing instant noodles in the Oh yeah, the toilet ramen. Toilet ramen's a classic. Sarah Palin? If she's interesting. Do I take agility? You know what? Probably better than Growl. I believe she is famous for saying that she can see Russia from her house. I probably shouldn't bother with Pursuit. AI switches are hard to predict in this game. Feeling evolution. You shall leave and wish us a good day. Thank you, and I hope you have a nice day too. Thanks for stopping by. Used a concrete nail gun for the first time yesterday and it was super noisy. Yeah. I'm not sure I've ever used one personally before, but they are definitely loud. You thought she was famous for being anti-abortion. All her daughters got multiple abortions. I hadn't actually heard that, but as I said, I didn't get super into that. Wait a minute, the wave emote is free? It is free, yes. But you can't use it in other chats, I don't think. It's at a subscription, which is the downside. Unlike the Tier 1 emotes, which you could actually use in other chats without a subscription if you use channel points, which makes things kind of awkward for choosing what to make free and what to make subscription. But anyway, welcome Hitomi. Also, why are you panicking? I do not have a wait, our cutter is a spread move, but I am out of PowerPoints. Hello. I just googled it. Oh, welcome Nomu, and thank you for gifting a sub to Hitomi. You spent 400 channel points on the emote and it was free. No, the panic emote is a subscription one. So you need points or a sub to use it. What I was saying is that it's kind of backwards. That in order to use emotes in other people's chats for free, you need to make it sub instead of free so that they can spend points on it instead of actual money. You believe it was Gloom and Panic? Yeah, those are the sub emotes right now. I should probably conserve my air cutter TP so I can use those on hordes. That's a mistake I used before. That's it, you're pissed. You wish there was an emote that properly conveyed a cat girl streamer being angry at this current moment in time. I don't believe I can help you with that, unfortunately. Do I have anything similar to that? Does not look like I do. Drizzle with Hurricane much better? Well, yes, but I don't currently have access to that. Amalthea is only level 26 right now. Though another thing to keep in mind when you use weather strategies is you can end up boosting your opponent's moves or nerfing your own moves if you use it wrong. But using it against Flannery is honestly perfect. But now that I think about it, is Drizzle Pelipper's hidden ability, or is that a normal ability? That's probably worth checking. Ah, gym up on the wrong screen. Don't only stars get Drizzle? I think you're thinking of Torrent. PokeMMO Pelipper. Oh, it is the basic ability, Keen-Eye or Drizzle. Brain Dish is its hidden ability. Let's be honest, everyone only uses Pelipper for Drizzle. You don't know any of the deeper stuff in Pokemon? There is a lot to it that you wouldn't know without a lot of experience or research. It's a normal ability. I mean, it's not that common. Oh, just for a Pelipper, you mean? But yeah, I think the only Pokemon that actually get Drizzle are Pelipper, Politoed, and Kyogre. Weather setting abilities are kind of special, I think. Though maybe I am forgetting about something else that gets Drizzle. Hidden moves are so stupid. My Heidel that even IVs and EVs should be shown in some way. That is one thing nice about PokeMMO, because you can just see IVs and EVs in the Pokemon summary. Whereas in base vanilla games, you just cannot see those things. I think the closest is Super Training, where you get this graph that shows a general idea of what EVs a Pokemon has, but it doesn't tell you the exact number. Also, I think ads are about to start, so I should take my break and refill my water. I will be right back. Oh, and thank you for the bless you, Tomi. Alright, I am back. Sorry about that. Natures, I believe, have always been shown in the Pokemon summary, but what they didn't show was which stats were increased and decreased. As far as I know, there isn't a chart anywhere in-game either. It wasn't until, I think, Gen 5 or middle of Gen 4 when they made it so you could actually see which stats are being raised and lowered by the Pokemon's nature. Which was absolutely a good change. But yeah, there is a lot that really should be accessible in-game, but isn't. Did they even show it? Yeah, it should say on the Pokemon screen what the name of the nature is, but not until the middle gens when they actually showed stat changes. Gen 3 did that. Was it Gen 3 that actually introduced natures? I'm not sure they even existed before then. Yeah, natures were introduced in Gen 3. They just didn't exist before then. One thing that I don't think was ever explained in the games, at least not in the mainline games, was which types were considered physical and which types were considered special before the physical special split. As far as I know, the only games in the first 3 generations, or I guess the only game that had that list was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. And I guess Blue Rescue Team is also technically Gen 3. Didn't Ruby and Sapphire do that also? As far as I know, there isn't anything in the games that says that. I could be wrong. But I'm fairly confident I'm right about that. Gen 3 was insanely innovative for Pokemon. That is very true. It did introduce abilities, which I would argue is the single best change they ever made to Pokemon, even over the physical special split. Doesn't it have the blue swirl or the red POW thing? Oh yeah, Gen 3 did have those indicators. Specifically when you used a move. Or not when you used it. When looking at the move in your moveset. Or was it Emerald that did that specifically? Because that might have been the case. But at least Emerald did do that. But I don't think there was an actual list anywhere in the Gen 3 games. Aside from Red Rescue Team. The best change was pressing A to use HM moves. Oh, that sounds like a really good quality of life change. I never played the first 2 generations, so I didn't actually know you had to go into your party menu to manually use HM moves every time you wanted to use it. That sounds absurd. But the reason I think abilities are so important to Pokemon is A, they make the battle system a lot more interesting, and B, they help give individual Pokemon much more distinct identities. So they're not just, you know, a typing and stats and moves. And the fact that they're also updating earlier abilities that used to be underwhelming to make them more interesting and useful is definitely a good change. Is that Juniper Lee? So I can see it in the cage lock? Yes, it is. Welcome 7. That's why you think it's really stupid that they gave hidden abilities? It's definitely a weird decision to give abilities that are only accessible through special means, which is frustrating for Nuzlocke because you basically can never access them. But I do think giving Pokemon access to more abilities in general is a good thing. Egg moves are also kind of the same way. I mean, honestly, I think in terms of flavor, introducing things like egg moves and hidden abilities is a cool concept. But as a mechanic from a Nuzlocking perspective, it's definitely frustrating. But there are a number of changes that I kind of have similar feelings about, that in terms of flavor and story reasons, they're actually really cool, but from a Nuzlocking perspective, they're just really frustrating. And welcome, Grief. What's good? I mean, I'm finally doing another solo stream. Haven't done one of these in weeks. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. Oh, before stream I got in a casual match against Gerald just with our Cage Lock teams, which I think you heard about, but... Oh, you were kind of there in call when it happened, but didn't actually watch it. It was a fun match, I think. Which games are we talking about? I mean, I'm just talking about the games in general. Or the Pokemon games. Because we were initially talking about the things like hidden abilities and egg mouse. You're hoping and praying I'm not bringing a specific mon I used in our last cage match? Ugh. Let's just say you're in for a surprise. Please tell you the iceberg stayed home in bed. And I'm just going to say, to be nice since you didn't get to see any of my matches. Same Pokemon, very different moveset. I also kind of swept Gerald with only 2 Pokemon. Plus that thing with all the sweat setup was insane. Yeah, that was quite the match. And the fact that it came down to a random freeze is really something. A 7-turn freeze, no less. Was it 7 turns? I don't think it was quite that long. NK sent you the exact number in messages before. But yeah, it was exactly what we needed to win that match. Because otherwise I just would have run out of Ice Beam power points and then I would have had no way to take down the Slowbro. Either way, it feels bad going from having me as a partner to having me as an opponent. Yeah, it's just kind of how the cage lock has been. And it's kind of sad having Dolphin as my first teammate and then needing to battle them in the 3rd cage match, but that's just kind of how it goes. I do think getting to know people and just battling both alongside and against so many new players is really fun. With all kinds of different strategies. Eventually, you'd love to do another collaboration with me in the future. I think it would be fun. There is always Season 2, which I absolutely intend to be part of. I mean, Nerd has mentioned that I've basically been planning Season 2 myself. I'm not sure what all you play other than Pokemon. Ira and Dudley are teaming up. That's an interesting team. I have no idea who my teammate's gonna be. Theoretically, you and Tamer could both end up top 4, and we are going to be using a rule where the top 4 placing players in the tournament are not allowed to team up with each other for Season 2 because that could just be unfair to other players. And we want to keep things somewhat competitive, but whatever you do, don't... You can't handle one of the bi-monthly streams being Fall Guys. Okay, listen. I am going to be streaming more. Or at least that's a plan. And, now you have to lose. You don't have to lose. Because even if you win, that'll still only put you in top 6. But... Anyway, that Fall Guys collab was something I wanted to do as kind of a reunion with my old tournament buddies from a year ago. Since we did a Fall Guys tournament and spent a lot of time practicing together, which was a lot of fun. But my my tournament match for the Regionlocke against Grief is going to be on Sunday. And I'm also planning on doing a stream Saturday in the meantime. Gotta get back to work, but have fun streaming. Thank you, and I hope you have a nice day. I guess I'm not sure what I want to stream on Saturday. And I can get back to Dragon Game Freak. I wouldn't say I was Dragon Game Freak. But, I guess continuing with what I was saying before, another feature that I think is really cool thematically but feels bad mechanically is the whole, friendship mechanic where you can have your Pokemon survive on one hit. Or on one hit point. And things like that. It's very cinematic. Wow, your Pokemon loves you so much it was able to hang on for you. But in a Nuzlocke, it's just okay. So now I'm basically just cheating against the AI that can't do this thing. It would be okay in a side game, not the flagship. Well, it's honestly just fine in Gen 6 and 7 as an optional thing, because you don't automatically gain... I guess it's not friendship, it's affection. It's a different mechanic. But in Gens 8 and 9, it is automatic, so there's no way to prevent it from happening unless you're intentionally making your Pokemon dislike you. Which isn't really something I would want to have to deal with. You'd like to see a friendship bar on the status screen. Yeah, that's another thing that's completely hidden. That really should be more accessible. At least they have a bar in PokeMMO. Thanks, PokeMMO, for another quality of life change. But yeah, it's definitely nice knowing when you can actually evolve a friendship evolution and whatnot. Knowing when you have full friendship for return or to be able to learn certain tutor moves. A game series that has the equivalent to Google and actually being able to use it mid-combat. Yeah, that would definitely be nice to just have an in-game wiki with all the information you could ever need. PokeMMO to an extent has that with the Pokédex, but you still need to actually fill it out. Like, you don't know what moves a Pokemon gets by level up until you catch it, and you can't see evolution's movesets until after you evolve, or catch the evolved form. So again, you still need to check the wiki and stuff for that. Game Freak puts that in their games, right? Kind of, but not really. The Pokédex in the game honestly offers really limited information. Even after you catch a Pokemon. And that's part of the whole point of the games, is to fill the Pokédex. So it's understandable that they wouldn't give you information on Pokemon you don't have. But the fact that it doesn't give you as much information even after you catch the Pokemon is definitely a questionable decision. But I guess that kind of circles back into the whole mechanics that are good flavor-wise but feel bad mechanically discussion. The fact that having all that information would be great, but you just don't have it because you need to fill it out. But, as I said, that's also an aspect that should be better. Okay, Freights, are you back or still here? it gives something to work towards in game though. Oh yeah. As I was saying, basically, it is cool that you have the completion mechanic, but it should be implemented better. Like, there should be more information you gain when you fill it. The only thing the community does is Nuzlocke and Shiny Hunt because there's nothing else to do. And that's not necessarily true. There's of course the PvP community, which is pretty big. There's also the whole art community that does fake mons and other Pokemon art. And of course people who like Pokemon breeding and making competitively viable Pokemon and whatnot. Yeah, I guess the Pokemon art thing isn't really a game-specific thing and more of a general Pokemon thing. Pokemon breeding for what? PvP or shinies? Well, yeah. But not necessarily for yourself to use in PvP. A lot of the PvPers get other people to breed their Pokemon for them. Though I have perfectly bred Pokemon for my friends, just for the sake of giving them a perfectly bred Pokemon. Not for PvP or anything like that. Though funnily enough, when I then battled my friend, who I gave a perfect Ralts I bred to, they ended up using the perfect Gardevoir they got from me against me. But funnily enough, they ended up bringing my Mega Mawile down to exactly 1 HP and then dying. So I think it might have had some loyalty issues there. But honestly, I wasn't expecting it to deal that much damage to my Mawile. I know Mawile doesn't have the best special bulk, but it's still a resisted hit. There are people who have the dedication to get every shiny in the entire game. And the hiccups are coming now. The people who do that don't have a lot to do otherwise. Pokemon does have a lot of potential. And I think that all the ROM hacks and fan games people make is a good illustration of that. But honestly, shiny hunting doesn't really do much of anything for me because At that point, I'm expecting the shiny, you know? And what makes the shiny special is that it's rare and you're not expecting it. At least for me personally. A 2-hour unskippable cutscene in a school at an ugly sandwich eating animation. Yeah, I think... making each Pokemon game directed at people who have never played a Pokemon game before does make things frustrating for experienced players. I've said this before, that I think the biggest reason Pokemon is so popular and is the biggest grossing media franchise in the world is that there are so many different ways to enjoy it. Which kind of makes it questionable how the company really doesn't want people playing their games in different ways. Like, Game Freak doesn't really... I shouldn't say Game Freak, the Pokemon Company in general doesn't really like Nuzlocke or ROM packs or anything like that. Which is disappointing. Did I see the Nintendo tree? Has people talk about that? I did not actually see the footage itself, but I did hear about it. On the plus side, at least doing Nuzlocke or playing ROM hacks or Nuzlocking a ROM hack doesn't necessarily mean you're blacklisted by Nintendo. Because just look at Wolfie. He Nuzlocked Emerald Kaizo. And now he has his own Incineroar as a gift Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. We were offended and consider Nuzlocke's cheating? Is that true? Because I know they didn't really like Nuzlocking, but considering it cheating just makes no sense. Because it's just playing the game in a way that's not intended. I will be honest, I'm starting to think I've swallowed too much air. I feel my stomach getting upset, which probably means more hiccups coming too. But hopefully that's not a problem. I'm glad you don't have to live the day in my body. It's not that bad. I think I'm in mostly good physical condition. But yeah, I do have a habit of swallowing a lot of air when I talk and drink water, which I'm not entirely sure how to fix. I do think I've been making some good progress in training so far today. And I finished leveling up Ire to 28. Got Protect, which is what I needed. Got a Multi up to 28. Leveling up Adipus. When you drink water, you push your tongue up, trap the water in the back of your throat, then swallow. And that's pretty much what I do. But I think part of the problem is I try to take much bigger swallows than I should. Drinking water more slowly supposedly helps. So I should probably try making an effort to do that. Intimidate getting triggered every single time I send Adipus out is definitely slowing things down a bit. You assume when I gulp water I have a big air pocket in my throat and swallow it too? Yeah, probably. So not necessarily a big one, just some kind of air pocket. Do you know animation skips in PokeMMO? There are not. I believe that's intentional for making farming less, or make sure farming isn't too efficient. It's some kind of MMO balancing thing that I don't really understand as someone who's not really into post-game grinding in MMOs generally. I'm more of a challenge runner, obviously, but I also think having animations is a nice touch. Plus, they're the Gen 5 animations, which are generally more clean and snappy compared to something like the Gen 4 animations. I think the Gen 4 animations were just generally slow. So they went in the opposite direction with Gen 5. Do I play Pokemon Go? I played for a bit in... What year was it? Like 2019, I think. But ended up not playing it. You think in my area I have a Pachirisu as an exclusive? I don't remember whether I've caught Pachirisu. But I ended up deleting the app because there was an issue where it would cause my phone to vibrate like it was getting notifications, despite not actually getting notifications. And it ended up getting too frustrating and I deleted it. And I wasn't even really playing the game anymore at that point. I should come back to it. I don't know, with games like that, it feels... I feel like I'm obligated to come back to it and not miss events and make sure I'm using my time efficiently, and I don't like feeling obligated to do that for a game. It just kind of ruins the game for me. Because then I get burnt out, and it feels more like a chore than a game. That's the same reason I stopped playing, well, part of the reason I stopped playing TCG Pocket as well. And I think when the Sinnoh set came out, I just wasn't really excited to do more team, or deck building like I was before. It's their big event of the year. The whole week prior, there's a special legendary raid happening. With Regidrago and Regionlocke. Oh, that reminds me. Why is Regice pronounced Regice and not Regice when Regionlocke is pronounced Regionlocke and not Regionlocke? It's just kind of inconsistent. Yeah, I think another part of it was I was never really able to participate in raids that required lots of people because I was living somewhere that was very sparsely populated. You call it Regice despite always making sure to pronounce it Arceus. I mean, it is the only Pokemon that had its official pronunciation changed. Because ours. But I personally think the... I refuse to pronounce it on recording. Not necessarily. But, I personally like the pronunciation Arceus because it sounds more godly. Why don't I say Arceus for you real quick? Well, I don't know how you want me to pronounce it is the thing. Because Arceus is the official pronunciation. It used to be Arceus. I pronounced it like that. Like what exactly? I'm kind of lost here. I will be honest. But doesn't Arceus sound like some kind of cleaning detergent? If they made a dish soap or something called Arceus, I wouldn't bat an eye. I mean, I would because I know there's a Pokemon called Arceus, but it's a well-known joke that Pokemon sound like medicine. Is that even true? I mean, I know there was like 1 or 2 quizzes where people need to guess whether it's the name of a Pokemon or a medicine, but I'm not actually sure which Pokemon sound like the names of medicine. Because my dad, who knows basically nothing about Pokemon, took one of those quizzes and didn't have any issues with it at all. Sentret 100%. Sounds like a medicine out of context. Maybe? I can see it, I guess. But I think part of it is also Pokemon is so ingrained into my brain, it's hard for me to not think of Pokemon. And compare that to something like Charmander. And that's pretty obviously a Pokemon and not a medicine. But I'm having trouble thinking of a Pokemon that you would be more inclined to think is a medicine than a Pokemon. Rotom, maybe? Grovyle, Sneasel, and Rapidash all sound like things you would see on a store shelf. I mean, maybe Sneasel. Because it sounds like something you might take for a sneeze. But Grovyle and Rapidash sound pretty clearly Pokemon to me. And not really medicine-y. They already have gravel, what do you mean? Wait, is there a medicine called gravel? Apparently. Effective nausea relief. But that's also very different from Gruvile. Even if they have some similarities, I think what makes gravel sound like a medicine doesn't apply to Gruvile. I'm trying to think as more. Maybe I should post this out on my friends that have no idea what Pokemon is. That's kind of hard to find. I mean, Philly, who I was playing Fall Guys with, it doesn't really know much about Pokemon, I don't think. But as I said, I did have my dad try one of those quizzes and didn't have any issues. Do I go to conventions or something? I have been to a convention exactly once. But I guess that depends on what kind of convention you're talking about. I've been to, I think, 2 board game conventions. 1 anime convention. And like 1 Magic the Gathering convention. They have board game conventions. Yeah, they're actually really common. How long ago was the Magic the Gathering con? I actually went to that one in Canada. It was a sealed tournament for or part of it, with the main event, I should say, was a tournament for, what was it? Avacyn Restored? I was pretty young at the time. That's like 12 years ago. Yeah. As I said, I was pretty young at the time, so I went with my dad, who doesn't play Magic. Calm Mind isn't really good on Stantler, is it? Oh, but an ad break is about to start. So I guess I'll go ahead and take another quick break and be back in a few minutes. Alright, ads are over and I am back. I don't have a lot of more training to do before the gym trainers. I need to get Adipus up to level 28, which is just one more level. And then it's just Voldetritus. He's at least partway up to level 26 at this point. Who also needs to get to level 28? And does not have Intimidate, so I don't have to worry about that slowing things down. But I don't know what Corsola's EXP group is. Actually, Corsola is another one that kind of sounds like a medicine, doesn't it? Or maybe it sounds more like an artificial sweetener or something. But its leveling rate is fast, so... she shouldn't take too long to level up. My slow mode takes you off to no end. It actually used to be longer, but I shortened it so that it would be less annoying. I'm just hesitant to remove it entirely because I don't want people to be spamming chat. I definitely prefer when people actually complete their thought in one chat message rather than spreading things out in multiple messages. I've had people message me on Discord and stuff where they break up their messages into only 1 or 2 words per message, and it bugs the crap out of me. Because then I end up just being flooded with notifications or whatever. Each one being a completely... that's kind of a weird way of putting it. Each one being an incomplete thought. Calling it completely incomplete would... I'm not even sure what to say about it. I just know that's what I was about to say, and that it wasn't the best way to say it. You don't think it's an incomplete thought? If viewed as normal conversation online over text? I mean, maybe? I think it depends on how you do it. But I also know that the way I personally communicate is a bit weird compared to most people. You know, thinking full bricks of text and send a wall. You compartmentalize concepts into smaller sections. Well, I think that's what punctuation is for, but... I guess one thing about the way I communicate is, for one thing, I tend to write and type the same way I speak, and what comes naturally to me when I speak is to think through exactly how I want to say something before I start saying it. So the way I have been making an effort to speak before I think too much about it. But me having that problem probably explains a lot of how I talk on stream. Welcome, Mercer. Punctuation is used as a tone indicator over text. I mean, I think part of it is the way I talk over text is also the same way I will write like an academic paper or something. Just because that's what comes naturally to me. Oh, Mercer, were you asleep or something? When, Gerald was having his matches against Ember and Gumi? Your condolences. I mean, that's just me being autistic, I'm gonna be honest. You're an Ember's stream? Wait, did I miss that? No, you... I remember you being there, I just blanked on that, so that's my bad. Anyway, kind of sad, but another person is out. It is kind of wild that Gumi is now going on a win streak in losers bracket. There's me almost knocking my headset off from sneezing. But yeah, Gumi eliminated both Shaman and Gerald. Which is completely unexpected. Oh, I never told you how the casual match against Gerald went. I'm not actually sure whether he was streaming that. But, Yeah, I ended up winning with just 2 of my Pokemon. You haven't heard about any of my casual matches? I think I mentioned dolphins to you. And I ended up streaming my match with Gerald to Ember over Discord. Yeah, I am really liking my team. And I am looking forward to battling Grief on Sunday. Now, Ember basically got a private show on that one. And nobody watched my match against Dolphin. Next time you'll join the call and watch with Ember. And if it's at a time you're available, then... I'd definitely be up for letting you watch. I'm just not sure when my next casual match is going to be. I was going to do it with Shaman earlier, but that ended up not happening. I still haven't done mine with Ember. Which... again, she is sick, so... that's probably not gonna happen until she's recovered. But of course I'm going to be streaming my actual tournament matches, so you'll get to watch those if you're available. Or the recording if you're not. It is a fun group, that's for sure. Very glad to have joined the Regionlocke. I kind of want to check Stantler's EXP group. That's something I might have checked before. It's in slow. Yeah, that makes sense. So leveling up without touchy this should go much faster. Fast EXP group compared to slow, and not having to proc intimidate every single Whismer. Well, yeah, it did also lead you to getting involved, as you wouldn't have known about it otherwise. Well, maybe you would have, because even if I hadn't necessarily agreed to join, Nerd had still joined my chat at the time. So it's possible you still could have learned about it that way. So I guess I'm not sure how involved Nerd is in the communities of the other streamers he invited, but ended up not joining. As the only streamer you watched, you'd have watched without me being involved. Yes, that makes sense. Obviously, that's different now. I do think it's really interesting how decisions you make can have large unintended effects on other people. I guess that's, in a way, part of the appeal of streaming. Because even if you're not necessarily trying to influence people, which I do think trying to influence people usually backfires, or at least as often. There's still the indirect consequences of what you do. Talk about some of my con stories. I'm not sure what I have to say that would be interesting. It is funny that Nerd added me, which resulted in you becoming the mod. But, I guess coming back to the magic convention I mentioned before, that ended up being the absolute worst case of mana flooding I've ever gotten. Because as I said, the main event was this magic tournament. It was sealed for Avacyn Restored. I earned a 3-round bye by winning a local tournament, so I ended up entering at round 4. I ran just kind of a white-green humans deck. Nothing special. But I repeatedly got mana flooded and reduced the number of lands I was running to try to stop getting mana flooded. And by the end of the tournament, in the final game, I was only about halfway through my deck. Keep in mind, this is sealed, so 40 card decks. I had 12 lands on the field, out of 13 total in the entire deck. It was that bad. But other than that, the kind of anime comic convention. Do you not play MTG anymore? Not really. I used to be really into it, but past few years not so much. But the only reason I went to the kind of anime convention was because I was recruited onto a League of Legends team to participate in the tournament as their mid laner. It was interesting. We got completely stomped. Because here's the thing, I was gold at the time. And the best player on the team. And everyone we were against was higher ranked than me. It was pretty miserable. Yeah, when you're playing against a team that just straight up outclasses yours, it's not pleasant. I played rank 2. Yeah, I used to. Again, that's not something I've done in a couple years. I only made it to Platinum in Season 12, which at the time was top 10%. After that, they added Emerald and made it easier to get, but at that point I just decided it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the time investment. And as far as the board game conventions go, well, one thing that happened, for context, part of the reason I went to the convention in the first place was because it was near where a friend of mine lived. An online friend who I had never met in person before. So I went down there to meet this friend and participate in the convention. But, my favorite board game is called Aeon's End. It's not all that popular, but it's basically a cooperative deck builder where you're trying to protect your city against giant demons. And on the last day of the convention, there's this group. Well, I guess 2 people specifically, looking for someone to teach them how to play Aeon's End. So of course when I saw that, I thought, looks like a job for me. So I joined and taught them how to play. It was a good time. The only board game you know is the Slay the Spire board game. I actually have the collector's edition for that. It was a... I think it was a birthday gift from my dad. But yeah, it's fun. It's also on Tabletop Simulator, but Tabletop Simulator is not ideal. but it pretty much does the job. It's the metal coins and everything. They are pretty nice. But honestly, I think there should be more singles in there. It's a lot of 5s. So if you're playing with 4 players, it's easy to run out of the singles. I've only actually played it twice, though. Do you have a favorite character / class you like to play? You'd be so willing to play it even on Tabletop Simulator? You love the silent, but it's the worst class? I'm not sure about that, actually. Because Defects, Ironclad, and Silent are all pretty close in strength. If you are using what's generally considered to be the metric for gauging their strength, which would be what the longest win streak the best player has with the character. Which, for the Watcher, was way higher than the other 3. It's like 17 for both Ironclad and Silent, and 16 for Defect. Having a thicker deck is a little bit of a disadvantage, which is mitigated a little bit by the Silent starting with the relic that lets you draw more cards on turn 1, but that only works for the first time through your deck, of course. The Watcher is probably the most different from the video game to the board game, from what I've seen at least. Though I think I've only played the Defect so far. It's a massive disadvantage. Strikes and Defense are the worst cards in your deck. That is very true. If I want to play, you'd be down. Maybe. I don't have a community Discord. If I did, it would definitely make something like that easier. I am out of Circe and Ancient Powers. And having a Slay the Spire board game with viewers stream seems like it would be difficult because it's such a long-form game. But as I mentioned before with my family moving, I do plan on streaming a lot more now that I'm going to have more free time. Which, as long as I manage my sleep schedule and burnout, that should be true. Oh, and of course my health, that also is a factor, but... You already follow the singular guy that streams it? The Slightest Bar board game? I do think it could be an interesting one to stream. I'm guessing they stream it on Tabletop Simulator, unless they actually set up the board game with a camera and everything. Which... me forgetting for a second that people actually stream themselves in person and not VTubing. Yeah, that would be kind of hard for me to do without actually showing my physical form. So that is something to consider. Getting someone to play with me on stream using Tabletop Simulator. And VTubers sometimes show their fleshy vessels. That is true. The big part of why I decided to be a VTuber instead of using a face cam or whatever is because I don't really want to risk getting doxxed. And some of those people who do dox streamers like that go to kind of crazy lengths. Like locating moles on someone's hand and looking for someone with those same moles. I mean, doxing is kind of how those people gain the ability to stalk someone. And it of course happens to celebrities all the time. They have trouble making anything in their lives private. I'm not saying that I expect to get that famous or anything, but all it really takes is one creepy viewer for something like that to happen. And then there are people who actually live stream themselves out in public, which I could never do. Because that means anyone watching your stream could just find you mid-stream and do, well, whatever they wanted, I guess. And of course there are horror stories about that happening to people. Plus I think it's a little rude, honestly, to put random people in public on your stream when they're just trying to live their lives. But that's just me. Pokemon Go streamers do that sometimes. I've seen videos of Pokemon Go players doing that, but not live streams. At least with videos, sure, people can tell where you've been, but that doesn't mean they'll find you there when you're there. Which, I guess, is the main concern. Now let's get rid of Spike Cannon. With Hustle, it's more of a liability than anything. I am almost done with training for the gym trainers, so I'll probably get... should I get started on those today? I did start stream a little later than I initially intended because of Regionlocke stuff. But yeah, probably wouldn't hurt to at least do some gym trainers, even if I don't get through all of them. Very excited to finally be out of Wismar Cave. Yeah, it'll definitely be nice, but I'm pretty sure I'm inevitably gonna have to come back here. Sorry you missed so much. I mean, on this stream, or with the Regionlocke stuff? Because on this stream, it's basically just been training and talking to chat and celebrating having new emotes. You feel like a proud parent watching their baby take their first steps? Oh, and Butterflies remembered their Twitch password and started trying to scam my Twitch chatters because no one was over on YouTube. So that also happened. You've already said it, but the emotes are really good. Thank you, I did. Shout out the artist earlier. And of course put their credits on my page. What I should probably do is make a panel for art credits and maybe finally change my profile picture to be a concept art Xenokim did that I'm using on Twitter and Discord and stuff. Butterflies isn't a scammer? That's a bold thing to say. You don't mind the PSP I have on Twitch right now? I mean, it's a good reflection of my VTuber model, or my Vroid model specifically. Though it's really just a screenshot I took in Vroid with the background. Show the concept art? It is on my Twitter, though it's probably buried at this point. I can try pulling it up on stream. If I create the image capture, that's where the file is. Oh gosh, that's big. Yeah, this is the concept art I commissioned that Xenokim did. It's kind of... It's obviously not the same as my Vroid model, but I at least wanted it to be recognizable as the same character. So my emotes are obviously closer to this design than the than my Vroid model. The leg pose might be a little off, but I think the art looks great, honestly. Okay, how do I... There we are. But yeah, my 2D model I commissioned is also the same design, and I really want to see the I really want to see how it looks rigged. Where's my model screen highlights? Yeah, that's not something I have on my Vroid model. It's all just a very dark indigo. And of course the outfit is completely different. Maybe I can find a way to change that on my Vroid model without needing to learn how to do 3D modeling and stuff. You like the little curls? I think it's a nice detail. It's kind of based on what my actual hair looks like when it's this length, but definitely not the same, that's for sure. But actually changing the color of those strands specifically was Xenokim's idea. That wasn't in my original design. You remember trying to do art of my model when you were making that dumb art of Ember? Wait. Was that... I'm guessing that's based on my Vroid model. But how did that turn out? I am very interested in seeing attempts at fan art, even if it doesn't turn out anything like what you wanted it to. You know what? Do I have that right? Let me check something really quick. Man, that's accurate. Shout out to Xenokim for the concept art. It's not great. I ain't never finished it. But yeah, feel free to send it to me anyway. You got me curious. My stream is only in Spanish. I believe that is true of both the artists I shouted out today. How do I talk to them? I just messaged them on VGen. Talking to Ader, my emote artist, was honestly kind of difficult because of the language barrier. But it was easier with Xenokim. What's that? VGen is the website I commissioned them through. It's a good way for especially VTubers to find artists. So I was just messaging them through the site directly. I'm pretty sure Ader is just using Google Translate or something. Not entirely sure where they're from. I can speculate based on time zones. And of course, language. But that's not necessarily definitive. I'm also not sure that that's something they would necessarily want me to talk about, so I'm not going to. Alright, I think it's just one more Whismer now. You're only half paying attention? It's nothing important, honestly. As I said, it's not necessarily something that they would want me to talk about. And it looks like ads are starting soon. Not the best timing. I might be thinking, oh, maybe I can try getting one gym battle in. I still need to get to where I need to go. So I'll probably get to Lava Ridge, take the ad break, and then start battling gym trainers when I'm back. Did I just say my full government name and address, postal code, and social security number? Yes, that's exactly what I did, and the VOD is, of course, available on YouTube whenever. I of course battled all these optionals, so I don't have to worry about running into them. Unlike Regionlocke, where I was deliberately avoiding them, since they had randomized teams. Yeah, I already battled that guy. Fight the reporters? I think I did already. Yeah, I think I want to lead Issa. And before I get started, I'm going to take a break. Ads are starting in 30 seconds. I will be back when they are over. Alright, bam, back, and let's go ahead and start battling trainers here. But yeah, I do try to take breaks when ads play so that people don't miss anything. I don't want to punish people for not subscribing to me. Inferno. I don't have a berry. I think it's... Oh, I'm lagging? The lag's done? Okay, Oh, Protect didn't fail there, did it? Which means it's not guaranteed to work if I use it again, so I'll just go into a resist. But, I was saying that I try not to... And of course it gets the paralysis. I try not to let people miss... Oh, I have refresh, I could have gone for that. I try not to let people miss my stream because of ads. I don't want to punish people for not subscribing to me. But also, I think it's important to take breaks anyway so that I can do things like stretch and refill my water. You know, normal human things. And when ads play is just the perfect time to do that. Why do I run ads in the first place? Oh, well, I kind of need to as an affiliate. There's no way to... Oops. I hit the spacebar and it automatically selected the move. Did not mean to do that. But, you always have to run ads as an affiliate. If you do not run at least 3 minutes of scheduled ads per hour, it will run pre-rolls, which are very annoying and obviously not something that I, as the streamer, can plan around. So I schedule it for a 3-minute break every hour because that's easiest for me to plan around and not let people miss anything important. Also, welcome back, I think. I'm still not sure whether you're staying or repeatedly leaving and coming back. I should probably go heal, because a paralysis is not ideal. Also, why are you panicking? A scammer would never offer a pancake? Oh, now the NPCs appear. They were invisible before. Okay, nobody in those. Panicking because they're still at home. Yeah, I do not remember this gym's layout at all. Okay, so they all bring me to the same place. $7 million for a pancake? Sounds fair, right? Going for Earth power? Yeah, that totally wasn't a scam. It's a Kecleon. You're poofing again? Guess we'll see you later. Alright, what's this doing? Thunder Punch. Might be a good idea to switch out then. Metal mistakes that, doesn't he? Who are we to decide the value of such a fine pancake? And as the customer... It is kind of on you to decide the value. At least to an extent. So far, these gym trainers have been kind of a breeze. Another earth-powering Numel. You wish that would make PC parts way cheaper? I mean, the seller decides how much it's worth to them and sell it for that price, and then you decide whether it's worth that price to you when you buy it. If it is worth the price, then you do buy it. If it is not worth the price, then you don't buy it. That's kind of the whole supply versus demand concept. I can tank and overheat. And it's probably just one-shots anyway, but... There it goes. You just got turned into a market capitalist? It just kinda came up. I wouldn't even consider myself a capitalist. I may as well just scout this thing's moves. Force Palm. I mean, I think I can just stay in. It's a neutral matchup. Focus Sash. He says just better. So he's almost level 30, which is the current level cap. So that's a one-way. May as well take the opportunity to go heal. But I think what's just going to happen is I'm going to breeze through all these gym trainers and then need to go back to grinding again for Flannery. Wait, am I going the right way? I think so. All the NPCs disappearing and reappearing is throwing me off. Nobody in those. That's just another one way. So yes, now I just need to go this way? Yeah, I think. I guess I did just go through all the gym trainers. I guess that means it's back to Rest Earth Puddle? And that is kind of what ended up happening. I just swept through all the gym trainers. And I have to go back to training. Your adrenaline was almost pumping for a second there. I know. One time I had to switch. 2 times I had to switch. You may as well knock this out. Back to killing children in caves. Okay, I might be doing a Nuzlocke, but the only Pokemon actually dying are mine. I headcanon that in Nuzlocke's, its other trainers and wild Pokemon deliberately choose to kill my Pokemon, and that I can have mercy when I cause another Pokemon to faint. And Nuzlocke's your self-imposed challenges, so I can headcanon whatever I want. But, honestly, it's probably worth stopping here. I can worry about Flannery next time. So yes, I have to decide who to raid. Does that mean I'm just beating the crap out of the same family of Whismur over and over? Something like that. Alright, let's raid real, I guess. Because why not? You wanted to hear me yap more? I'll be back Saturday and Sunday. But, yeah, as I was saying, I'll probably stream again Saturday at the same time and do my shopping beforehand. And then do my cage match with Grief on Sunday. You're busy Saturday unless it's later than 4 p.m. Well, I don't know what time it'll be for you, but it's going to be 6 p.m. my time. But if you're watching on YouTube and would like to join the raid, feel free to switch over. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.